Component-wise, I have a few positives and a few negatives. Positive-wise, I think that the rulebook is very well designed. I didn't have a whole lot of questions. Another positive I have is that the insert is very well designed. You can divide up all your cards. Do not turn your box to the side, though. The cards will fall out and spill. But you are able to keep all your cards separated by color, by your factions, by everything. It's wonderfully put together. Now, a negative would be that I think the font on the cards themselves is too tiny and hard to read. I also think that the red and the orange cards are hard to differentiate between the two.
Well, of course, in this game, if we're going to talk about components, it's got to be the cards. So, I have a positive and a negative. The positive would be the artwork. I love this artwork, and I love picturing it in my mind, and the theme is just fantastic, and I really enjoy that. Now, negative would be the card stock. I think it's a little flimsy. I think it's pretty obvious we're going to have to sleeve this.
Now, you've got two different types of resources that we use in this game. You've got command and you've got war. Now, I almost wish that they would have went to just one type of resource, and the reason that I say this is because I think this game gets slowed down because people are trying to sit there and calculate their command and their war and how they can purchase, deploy, or rush cards on their turn, whereas if it had just been one type of resource, it would have been simpler decisions.
I really enjoy the fact that the cards that you're purchasing have victory points themselves. So that gives you a little bit more of a decision to make. Do I want to purchase cards and possibly get the same number of victory points as I would if I would go for this location? If you go for the location, then you can also get a resource card, so that's a bonus, but you lose the units that you deployed to that location, so there's a negative. So there's a lot of strategy going into your decision here.
Another thing that I do enjoy about this game is that the cards in front of me are my cards. Nobody can purchase them, nobody can take them. And if you've played other deck builders, like let's use Dominion, you know how frustrating it can be that you just don't seem to get the right draw to be able to get the good cards, and your opponents are, and by the time you do get the right hand, they're all gone.
I have found that the process of winning locations takes some getting used to. My first few times I played the game, I'd win a battle and I would expect to win the location. But that's not how it works. You have to have 2 units left at that location, more than your opponent's. Comes back around to your turn, then you get the location. So it's a little more difficult than what you expect. Also, when the Day of Reckoning card hits, it's the same rules, and that still surprises me. Hey, I won the battle. I should get this location. No, you have to have 2 more than your opponent at the end of the game.
There's a strategy in this game. Early on, you can decide if you want to try to buy cheap, quick units to try to deploy them out to locations so that you can try to take the locations early. The other strategy is that you buy resource cards early in the game and build your faction up slowly towards the end game. It's going to be a lot easier for you to deploy not just a few, but a lot of units out into locations and try to dominate the end game.
Well, when I think of games to compare this one to, my first thought is Blood Bowl, because it's also a card game. There's some deck building action there. I feel that this game is a little simpler, and in that thought, I do prefer this over Blood Bowl. The other game I think of, which may be surprising, is Conquest of the Fallen Lands. Conquest of the Fallen Lands seems to have a lot more going on because there's tiles and more components. But in both of these games, you're calculating what you can deploy in order to win a location. And that's the part of both of these games that I really love. Would I recommend this game? Yes. Coming from a gamer who enjoys calculated strategy, who enjoys deck building, I do recommend this game. I'm not familiar with the miniatures game, so that's not affecting my decision, but I really enjoy playing this, and we enjoy it with a group, and we also enjoy it with 2 players.
So what would I compare this game to, and would I recommend it? What I would compare it to is Blood Bowl and Smash Up. I think they had a baby, and out came High Command. I would recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. I know that we have enjoyed it an awful lot around here. In fact, we've got a big group that we all get together, and it seems like every game night we're busting this one out. Now, I don't like to tell people, say, hey, I recommend, therefore go buy it. I like to show you why I think games work well for us, and possibly that they don't work well for you. We've done a live play, and I highly recommend that you go and check it out. We're going to show this game in as much detail as we possibly can, and play it out in front of you, and give you as much information as you can to make an accurate decision. So I highly recommend you go check that out, and until then, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.